Hello everyone, Hamas28 here, and welcome back to Seaopolis Submerged. So, as we left off last episode, we're going to be unifying our storage using Tom's Simple Storage. Should be easy enough to get started now that we have access to a bunch of tin and driftwood, and at some point we'll get access to applied energistics and we could kind of just link them together. Let's see, I forget what the name of this is called. Tom, not Tim. And you can see it's very simple, but very easy to set up, especially in the beginning. So let's go ahead and grab some more of our copper, grab our tin, so we can start setting everything up, and grab some wood here, so we can make some chests and get it going. So first things first, we're going to need our inventory cables, which will take some of this durable hardwood, well, driftwood. It makes me think of Stardew Valley, the hardwood from there, although I think it's more of an amber color. Grab this, get this. And why can't we craft this guy? Why is it locked? Because we need to make a storage core, which comes from bronze nuggets, and we have a little bit of bronze, so we can turn that into nuggets first to unlock that, and get ourselves access to the storage core, the heart of the storage network. Storage core will take some planks and a chest. 1, 2, 3. Make this, and make a storage core. Done. Custom drawers. In a 2x2 crafting, place a framed drawer on the bottom right. Place the block you want to texture on the other 3 slots. Good to know. Making these, and then we can just upgrade the drawers. Drawers are always useful for making, what are they called? If you have a lot of something, like a ton of it, especially stuff you're going to be possibly crafting, that's the best part of it. And now we can craft the inventory connector, and we're going to need 3 more storage cores, which means a lot of wood. Let's go ahead and make 3 more chests. And make 3 more of these guys. Probably gonna need a little bit more bronze now that I think about it. Like this. And that was 2. What are we missing? There we go, the wood. And now we can make. And we need 1 more chest. And now we can make the inventory connector. Quest completed. And I had a phone call and completely lost my train of thought. What were you doing? All right, inventory connections. So it should be as easy as taking our wood and making a couple chests and then connecting those chests to the rest of the network. So let me make, actually we need 1 more. Like so. And let me convert these into this color. So it should be as easy as just coming in here, and why did it lag like that when I entered this room? That was weird. And just placing the chest like along this wall like so. Just like that. We'll put the inventory connector, I think could just go in any spot really, so we'll put it right here. And then, let's see, now we will need the storage terminal and the crafting. I think one crafts out of the other. It does. Storage terminal crafts like that out of... Why does it take so many storage cores? It's a good thing I saved up a bunch of this bronze, because that's going to be annoying. Everything's going to take so much wood. Okay, make a bunch more chests. And make some more of these. So chest, wood, this and that. 4 storage cores. And, oh, wrong one, that's why. And we need more chests. Okay. Chests, storage terminal, then we need 4 crafting tables, and we can finally make the crafting terminal. Now I should just have to place this guy like right here, take our inventory connection cables, connect you there, like so, connect this here, and then we just have to connect it to all the chests using the other thing, which should be these guys, the inventory cable connectors, which will take more storage cores and more inventory cables. But now we can use this to craft as a crafting table, it just has no storage on it. So let's get a bit more bronze nuggets, let's get even more chests, and make the inventory cable connector with some more storage cores. So this guy, inventory connector. And then we shouldn't need the filtered one, but we can make it with some paper. We will need a little bit more paper though. So right now, I'll finish that off later. Just take this guy. I was gonna say, and just place it like that. You have to place it like so. And now we can put stuff into the chest. No, we cannot. Why can't we? Are you not connected? Oh, it's not connected here. How do I connect this guy? Where's my axe? Do I have to put this guy here? Okay, there we go. So let me move this around. So inventory connector goes right here. You go on top, and now we can put stuff inside. Now you can see it is a little bit slow. As you can see, it takes a little bit to update when you put stuff inside. But it takes no power, and it's pretty robust for a very simple early game system. Obviously, AE2 is a lot better, but we're not anywhere near that. So let me go ahead and move these chests next, add a couple more inventory cable connectors, and we'll be good to go. And there we go, it's fully complete. 4 chests, and now we can view everything in one single unified storage. Pretty sweet. So eventually, and I say eventually, but we're probably going to do it this episode, we're going to do stuff like our hopper botany pots importing into these chests now, along with the mulches as well. And this is going to make it a lot easier to keep things sorted and separated for a little bit of the automation we're going to get going. As you can see, because I think, yeah, this is the automation chapter, we're going to craft a copper pickaxe next and get access to the block breaker, placer, and crafter. So let's go ahead and make ourselves a copper pickaxe. Put that in there. Finish the quest. And now we can make the block placer. Place those blocks for you. Crafter and breaker. Not quite sure what the Seaopolis wrench is. When held, look at a block to see more information. Interesting. But anyways, now we can continue down the Bronze Age, make bronze meshes, and get access to iron gravel ore, nickel, lapis, and eroding salt mulch to do other stuff like get dust, to get niter and redstone, along with lead, and finally get access to our curios and whatever these resource generators are. What do these do? Can be used to obtain stone-like blocks and glass, a smaller space to duplicate some blocks. What does this do? Interesting, so it just duplicates blocks at a pretty predetermined rate. But that means we can get pretty much anything with a little bit of iron. So we'll need some bronze meshes first, and now that we have unified storage, it'll be so much easier to craft all this stuff. And we're missing bronze. Annoying. Copper ingots, tin. Let's make a couple more of these. Take and grab some coal. Put this in our blast furnace, and get a little bit more bronze. Bronze ingot back into here. Now we can make our bronze mesh. And it's this guy in a strainer. Oh, interesting. So with mulch, we can get mushrooms, but we want it with gravelly mulch to get our iron. So we're going to go ahead and replace this guy here. And what went on the bottom? The gravelly mulch. Right there. Put that in here. And I wonder, can this guy duplicate gravel? Andesite cobblestone. I'm not saying gravel, but I think we can actually craft it from cobblestone, right? Gravel, strainer. We can. So using eroding water, cobblestone, and one of these 5 meshes, we can make gravel. So pretty much everything is going to come from strainers. And now that we have this bronze one, we're going to start getting iron, lapis, and nickel. Now it does seem like it's a pretty low chance, as you can see, at only, oh, it's 70%. So we're actually going to get a good amount pretty fast by the look of it. It'll just take some time, which means I should spend this time getting more gravel, because I think we're all out of gravel. Gravel? We have a little bit, along with a little bit more gravelly mulch. Mulch. Gravelly mulch. And we're good to go. Now I wonder if I can automatically place gravelly mulch into the strainer using a hopper. I want to try that out. So let's go ahead and make a hopper real quick. It all starts with a chest. Make a hopper and then make one more chest to store the mulch. Gravelly mulch. And now if I put this guy here, let's see, the water is going to come pouring out, so I need to be fast. Move this and put the gravelly mulch inside. No, it doesn't go in. Oh, that's because that's in there. 56, 57. Okay, so that does work. Interesting. So what that means is, and I forgot about this paper, we can passively make these mulches and have them fed from our logistics system directly into the strainers to keep stuff crafting passively for as long as we have it, which is pretty good. But for now, I'm gonna have to make another shovel and gather some gravel by hand. Alright, I'm back from my digging trip. We got some clay, a little bit of dirt, and a lot of gravel. Now we can go ahead and throw this into our system and make some more gravelly mulch. Nice. And throw this in here, and let's see our spoils. How much did we get? And not a whole lot. 32 iron, 29 nickel, and 20 lapis. Not bad at all. And let's go ahead and turn this into our iron gravel ore, our nickel gravel ore, and the lapis stays as lapis. But now we can just place this down, place this one down too, and I actually need another shovel. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words will never hurt me. And make raw nickel and raw iron. Done. I wonder when we get diamonds, because if I can enchant these to get better drops, that would be great. Because I want to see this. Does it say? It doesn't. But now we can melt this down into nickel and iron, put it together, and now we can make eroding salt mulch. So we start by grabbing a little bit of iron, come in here. Oh, actually, I need to finish off the quest, we're going to need a nickel ingot. So let me swap this real quick. After this one's done, don't want to edge it like that. Grab that, grab our nickel ingot, and we'll be good to progress with the quest. Grab that, there we go. Now come in here, eroding salt mulch, like so. Click, click, and 1 eroding salt mulch. Done. Right click on a block of mulch with eroding salt mulch to create a source block of eroding water. Where's my bucket? There we go. So we can collect it. So now we just place this, place that, and collect it. And now we have a bucket of eroding water. Now taking a look at JEI, what can we use this for? So we can place this on top of gravel to make sand, sand to make dust, bedrock infused obsidian to make bedrock, and cobblestone to make gravel. How do you make bedrock infused obsidian? Place block above. Where do you get bedrock from? Interesting. I wonder if you have to go all the way down to the bedrock layer and then find a piece of bedrock that's floating above it, like above the ground, in order to do that. That might be what we have to do, because I don't even see that here yet, and it's probably down here. Anyways, now we need to get dust, eroded cobblestone to get access to niter and redstone. But now that we have access to iron, we can make a resource generator, which will take a lot of iron and a water bucket, but this should let us start making cobblestone for essentially free at 1 cobblestone every 8 seconds. And voila, another strainer, sand, mesh. Now this should start making dust. And it does. Quest completed. And now, how do I get the items out of the dust? Okay, now we have to strain the dust in water, and that's how you get these items. Now, how do I get, which one were we looking for? We're looking for niter, lead, and redstone. So niter, lead, and redstone takes at least a bronze mesh. Lead and redstone all take at least bronze, or iron. a minimum mesh tier 3, which means we need another strainer, and then we'll be good to go. And then in this case, this is about the point where we want to figure out how to automate the complete process, so we really only have to dump things in at the start. Which I think means we're going to need some more iron, because iron is how we make the resource generator, and if we can break down cobblestone using this liquid, we should be good to go. I will have to plan that out though, which will probably take a little bit of time, but once I have a diagram going, it should be good to go. So, after a little bit of poking and prodding, I figured out how to automate dust and gravelly mulch to run indefinitely. Now, when I say indefinitely, the only thing that is not automated is going to be the, what are they called? I believe they're called the, this room will probably reach that actually, so let me put it over here. The only thing not going to be automated is the meshes. Because we have to use a bronze mesh, they do last a pretty long time, but those still have to be added in manually to each of the strainers, but they last a long time, so I'm not really worried about it. Alright, so I'm going to build it in here. I have all of the materials we're going to need. Now we're going to start with the small one first, so we're going to need a resource generator, hopper botany pot, crafter, strainer tank, wooden strainer and wooden hoppers, and it's going to look kind of like a staircase, which I kind of like the design of. So in total it's a 4x4 in height, so if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, that's a good spot for it. We do this guy up here. Oh, I do need cobblestone to make the resource generator 2 actually work, so let's grab some cobble and continue building it. So, resource generator goes on top, place the cobblestone, and it turns blue to indicate that it's working. Now then, we're going to place this guy here and place a wooden strainer, remove this block, and grab our hopper, place it like that, and now this guy should be getting cobblestone at some point. How long does this take? Resource generator 2, generator 2, generates cobblestone. Yeah, it goes faster with speed blocks. So as you can see, it collects one block every 11 seconds. So now we have 2 cobblestone. And we place our strainer tank right here on the top. And then on this one, we're going to place a hopper botany pot with mulch inside to start making some mulch. Place your crafter underneath and another wooden hopper, like so. And in this guy, oh, this isn't going to work actually until we put in the item, but that's fine. This guy is going to take in the mulch and the gravel to make our gravelly mulch. So that means right here, we place another strainer tank, put in our strainer tank bottle, get some water from our tank outside real quick, so we can actually perform the function, and place that in the tank above. That goes here, replace this guy with another wooden hopper, and it's all set. So now we just have to fill this guy with our eroding, whatchamacallit, I forgot what it's called. What was it? Eroding thing? It was this one, right? Eroding water. So now we place the eroding water in here, and we're going to steal that mesh as well, since we're going to move it anyway. In fact, I probably could have just did it. Oh, there's none in here. So let me make a bronze mesh. Bronze. And we'll use the bone mesh on the other one. I'll replace it later after it breaks. So now we just come over here, place in your bronze mesh. So now this is going to break down into our gravel. Then this guy gets this and the gravelly mulch. So you'll see the cobblestone gets transformed and goes into the hopper to make the gravel. Grab the mulch. Now we come in here, gravel and mulch. And let me make sure I'm doing that right. Dirty mulch, gravelly mulch, mulch and gravel, turn on to make gravelly mulch. They get sucked out and put into here, and now it's automatically sifting our gravelly mulch to produce our viable product. And then we can connect this with a pipe to our logistics network to store all the items automatically. Now on this side, we're going to build the bigger one, which will take the remaining of our items. Now this one is a little bit taller, as it's a 5x5 instead of 4x4, And as such, it has to go a 1 block taller. So instead of right here, we're going to throw this guy there, throw in our resource generator. Will this fall down? No, perfect. Wooden strainer. Throw in our hopper. And that's going to work, but I'm going to have to place and replace it anyway. Right there. Then next to this one is another strainer. And next to this one is another strainer. And next to this one is another strainer. So this is where most of these strainers are going to go, because it has to sift all the way down to dust. That's fine. Take your hoppers. 1, 2, and where'd my other one go? I thought I crafted enough. I must have used one somewhere that I didn't mean to use. Let's see. There might be one in here. Huh? No hopper. That's odd. Thought I counted it all out. So we can go ahead and make another one. It's not a problem. Always need more chests. That's fine. And make another hopper. What? I made the chests. They're right here. Okay, that's weird. And connect this guy here. So now that's the basic setup for all of these. Now we just have to throw in our strainer tanks on the top so we don't actually waste the water. And by waste, I just mean make a mess of it, like so. And now these three all have to have eroding water. It's just the bottom one that has to have the regular. So now I have our eroding salt mulch. Place down 3 pieces of mulch, convert that into our water, place it in here. Take the second one, place it in there, and the last one into the third one. Now we just need to add our meshes, and it'll start converting automatically all the way down to dust and sifting it. So we can put the dust in there, and we need to make 1, 2, 3, 4 meshes, 5 for this one. And now we just go ahead and slot in all of the meshes, bronze in there, bronze in here, bronze in there, bronze in there, and bronze in there to get it going. So now our cobblestone gets meshed into gravel. Or what does it get meshed into? Yeah, into gravel. The gravel into sand, and the sand into dust. Now we could set it up so that we always get more like gravel and dust anyway, but it's such a slow process we really don't need to. This is just to have an automatic way to keep it going that really doesn't require any input. Now we can also start making these mesh upgrades, as you can see, because the first one only takes stone, and you can see copper or bone meshes. The second one starts to take iron or bronze, and the next one after that is going to take the next tier, which we're almost at. We're almost at gold, but we can start making sturdy meshes, which, as you can see here, the sturdy mesh, there it is, the sturdy mesh upgrade changes the damage chance to 40%, which makes them last quite a long time, which is pretty nice. So after I leave this and get a lot of resources, I'll probably update those later. And now that we've had a little bit of dust start to strain, we now get access to niter, lead ore, redstone, and cinnabar. And that completes a lot of quests for us. Now, I believe our next quest did involve just breaking down the lead gravel ore into the lead, like so, and smelting this down. Yep, another quest completed. Put that in there. Throw this into our inventory system, because now that we have access to lead ingots, we can make the toxic air curio and the water curio, and finally be free of our mortal constraints. We are probably going to need a little bit more lead though. Let me grab this, and lead. Toxic air takes 8, and the other one takes how much? Takes 4, so we're going to need 12 lead in total and a little bit of marine fabric. But then we're done with the bronze chapter, which means the only thing left to do is set up a bit more automation using these guys over here, the block breaker and placer. That way we can automatically, what's the word I'm looking for? Process all of our copper, not the copper, all of the ore pieces. Because right now we have to manually pick all of these up, craft it into the block, place the block, and break it. We can probably set up a bit of an automation line to automatically craft the ore pieces into the ore, then place the ore and hit it with a shovel to turn it back into the usable part and throw it into our blast furnace. And now it's mostly complete. So let me walk you through how this works. Let me attach this there and make sure these are all connected. And it should be working. Oh, I didn't filter these. Whoops. Okay, so we need iron, lead, copper, tin, and nickel. So this one is tin. So tin to tin. Let me move this. Tin to tin, copper to copper, nickel to nickel, lead to lead, and iron to iron. So now it goes in there. Perfect. And let me explain how it works. So we have all of our resource generation from our strainer tanks behind it. Using item pipes, we're pulling them out and putting it into this chest. This chest is then connected to a subnet inventory through this inventory connector. This inventory connector has the job of pushing the ore pieces into one of these crafters. These crafters then receive the item and crafts it into the ore. Then, using our pipe wrench, we're going to set these to pull, and they're going to get pulled into the block placer. Turn this guy on, he places the block. Then the block breaker has a shovel, and when we turn him on, he breaks the block, and the items get picked up and put into the chest. Now, it seems like some items are going to get lost here, which is a little annoying, but it seems like it's mostly perfect. I could probably put like a half slab or something. Ooh, I could do like a, what is it called? I forget the name of it. A trapdoor. That's it. Trapdoor. And we don't have access to oak. Where's my wood? Trapdoor like this. Light blue. Keep up with the aesthetic. And I can put it right here. So let me turn this guy off. Like that. That should work. At holding the stuff in. Because then it should just go up and then fall down. And now, all of the raw versions are going to get stored in this chest. So now we just have to have this get pushed into a furnace with some coal, and since we already produce mini coal, we don't have to take the time to break it up into regular coal, because I think it works regardless. One mini coal smelts one item, and coal already smelts 8, and it's 8 to make 1. Which means the ratio actually stays the same, and some of it is getting lost, which is a little annoying. Why doesn't this want to push? Oh, it wants to push, it's just really slow. Okay, that's fine. Now that it's worked through the backlog, you can see it's really slowed down, which means it shouldn't get stuck anymore. Yeah, see? Perfect. So now we just have to attach this to our blast furnace. And let's see, so I'll have blast furnace like this. So we put this pipe here, blast furnace here, another inventory hopper right here connected to this, filtered for the mini coal. And then I can have another item pipe here to pull that into the inventory. Yes, yes, that's how it can work. Wait a minute, can I do from the side though? I think that's an issue. I don't think the blast furnace will let you pull from the side. So I think I actually have to move this up. Let me disconnect this real quick. That didn't take it, right? Perfect. So I want the blast furnace here. Connect that there. Disconnect this. And have that get pulled this way. Awesome. Now it works. Now I did have to actually move the pipe a little bit because I forgot that the vanilla furnaces only accept inputs from the top and fuel from the side and export from the bottom. But now we could just move this guy over here, put this to a buffered chest, which we really don't need with how much, inventory we're actually pushing, but it's still nice to have. Let me grab a chest, that here, and slap this on the end and set it to export into the chest. And, oh, did it too fast, there we go, only one. Items go up and get processed. Now, at the rate we make mini coal, it is really low. So it's not actually going to keep up with production too much. But I could always just fill it up with charcoal and like put charcoal in here or something. But it should be enough for the most part because we have like 33 mini coal and way more ores than coal. So it is going to need some topping off from like some charcoal or something. But we can always connect that to like the main system over here at some point and have it fed that way. But now that that's out of the way, that takes care of all of our basic inventory management. Well, not inventory management. Resource generation management. But I do need to focus on the lead right now, so we can actually grab all of the ore pieces. Grab all of that out of here. Nickel, iron, all of that taken out. And move it into this and have it processed. Let's go ahead and grab all of this. So throw in our ore pieces. Place in this stuff. Have it processed pretty quickly. And what about our lead? 36 raw lead. So we need that for our curio, so I'm going to swap this real quick. Put that back in here. And we'll swap this with the regular coal for now. And then we can use the lead to finish off this quest line, the bronze quest line, and craft our 2 curios and finish it off. Now, do I have marine fabric? Probably not in the amounts we need. Let's see, marine fabric. This guy, curio, this one. Curio, click, no. Charcoal, mini charcoal. Click, click, charcoal filter. Filter. Marine fabric. Okay, we need more leafy string. And we're going to need more leaves. Always annoying. So much mulch, no leaves. Where is my shears? I should have... Okay, we got 1 shear. Where is my sapling and sapling grower? So we got to quickly gather some leaves. And when we come back, we'll be able to craft our 2 curios. Alright, that's done and out of the way. So now we can craft the water curio to make us immune to the water, and the toxic air curio to make us immune to the air. And why didn't I get the chapter completion? What's going on? That's weird. Let me claim everything. Oh, I didn't make a resource generator. That's why. Let's see, I should have a bucket in here from the other thing. Bucket. Grab this. We need 2 blocks of iron to make resource generator. And resource generator. Done. Bronze chapter completed. And the main difference between the resource generator 2 and the resource generator is this one just does it in the block. As you can see there. It doesn't need anything on top of it. But I think that's about it. And you can't speed this one up, I believe. It doesn't go any faster. But as you can see, it does just duplicate items pretty well. So I'm not actually sure what the use case is for that, but it is nice to have. Put that in there, and now we can equip... Oh, that's the wrong thing. Did not mean to put that in there. Now we can equip our curios and make us immune. Oh, back, belt, body, charm, ring, back. Make us immune to the water and the air. Grab all of that, some more money. I really don't see the point of all the sea bucks. It's mostly just for warp pipes. But we have a lucky spawn and there's warp pipes like all around us. So I don't even think I need to buy them. But now that we're done with that chapter, the only thing left to finish is just crafting these items to really finish these ones out with further resource gathering. But now we are able to venture into basic thermal machines. But I think with that, we have a good stopping off point for this episode. We've fully automated most of our initial resources. Once we get higher tier meshes, we are going to have to do a little bit of additions to it to make it work a little bit better. But for now, it works perfectly well and it should set us up for the next chapter with our thermal machines. But as always, I'm your host, Hamas28, and I'll see you guys next time.